Today is May 9th, and it's the day when Moscow celebrates its victory over Nazi Germany, and only right that they do so. All Allied powers should take pride in defeating fascism in Europe. But I wanted to make this video because I think this is a divergence point worth exploring between how Russia looks at it and how Ukraine looks at it. As we saw today in Moscow, there is pomp and circumstance and pageantry. It's a celebration. Yes, there's some solemnity and some reverence, but make no mistake about it, when I lived there in Moscow, I saw 5 of these things, and the town turns into a party. It's very patriotic. It's this celebration of their imperial power and what they see as their beating back the Nazis. However, in a further divergence point, those in Central and Eastern Europe look on it very differently. While the Allied forces coming from the West are seen as a liberation force, coming from Moscow, it's seen as a conquest. Just ask any Pole or what have you. And also, I think it's worth noting the difference between how Ukraine sees this period of time, because so much of the fiercest fighting actually happened here. This land is soaked with blood from that period of time. And so you see Vladimir Zelensky addressing his people on the 8th very differently than what we saw today on Red Square. But Putin doesn't care. He cynically uses the legacy of that period of time to inspire the current generation to get involved in this criminal war, because he says it's a continuation of the same fight that your grandfathers were involved in, instead of we're going to go conquer a land that wants to live free and independent. This is all part of the myth that they tell themselves about the Second World War. And look, all nations do. But in Russia's case, it has turned from history into religion. It's, again, cynical, because the guys who actually fought that war and knew the horrors of that war are long dead. And so now he's using that legacy to continue this war. I hate war. I've been to over 12 different wars and conflicts, and it's tragic. And I hope to God this is my last one ever. But if you really want to know the truth of what happened during that period of time, I recommend watching a film made by a Russian filmmaker, but guys back in the 80s, in 1985, who still remembered the horrors of that period. It's called Come and See. It's a difficult watch, but it's certainly one to tackle if you want to understand the tragedy of this region.